My name is Jole Mugisha, the Deputy President of National Unity Platform, Western Uganda. I'm saddened by what is trending on social media with regard to what they are talking about, that my colleague, the Deputy President of Central, the Right Honorable Matthias Mpuuga, with regard to the corruption scandal he was involved in. Many people are saying that, that we as a party, we are witch hunting Honorable Mpuuga, which I want to clarify today that that's not true. That's not true because, as I said the other time, we held a meeting, in which meeting he was part of. And he was given a chance to react to the allegations. By then it was still an allegation. We even had a copy of the minutes of the small meeting of the three commissioners, parliamentary commissioners and the speaker, with others listed, the other people who were supposed to have been in that meeting listed. Others absent without apology, others absent with apology. I actually have a copy of those minutes. And the Right Honorable Mpuuga was requested by the person who was chairing the meeting to explain what had happened. And he said that indeed the meeting took place and that it was done in good faith, according to him. Said it was done in good faith because he said other people, other positions that hold equivalent positions, like the Right Honorable Nabanja's position and others, speakers and others, were given performance awards, which I call token of appreciation. And then we found out, however, that the way other awards were given, was, discussed by Parliament, full Parliament, and then passed. But here was a scenario where the three beneficiaries, the three commissioners, remember they had just chased away intentionally Honorable Zake, who was our commissioner representing opposition on that commission. They had just chased him away, and Honorable Mpuuga had kept quiet. So they sat in a meeting of three commissioners and Honorable Mpuuga, and then the speaker. Those are 5 people. And then they awarded themselves. I mean, what does that mean to you? And what does it mean for Ugandans? For somebody to sit in some corner somewhere and then decide their own pay. That's what we were talking about. And for us as a party, we saw it as an ethical act, something that we cannot take up in our party, because for us, we are committed to fighting corruption. We are committed to working with people of high moral integrity. And when we selected Honorable Mpuuga to lead the opposition in Parliament, we read in him that picture of a person of high moral integrity. But then we were shocked. And then he agreed. He told us, yes, it happened. And then we said, oh God, how do we, now that it has happened, how do we go about it? In fact, he was given a chance to guide the meeting on how we would proceed with him. So we asked him, why don't you step aside from the commission. Meanwhile, we think about, the next course of action. But to our surprise, he came up with that kind of outburst. You saw the letter in the press. You saw it. I saw it on CBS myself here, the full interview he held. And I didn't expect such from him. I had expected him to say, yes, abaganda bagamba nti bw'oyikiriza oluwa bitono. You pay less. When you plead guilty, you save the country a lot of expenses. So I was surprised when I saw him denying, now turning around, saying, for me, I didn't tell them that I took them. But he said that, and I was there myself physically.
He agreed that he got money.
He agreed that he participated in the scandal. Yes. So how else did you want him to agree to stand up on the roof and say, oh yes, he didn't do that? But at least in the meeting where we were, in our boardroom at Kavure, yes, he did. And wars have ears, right? I want to believe that those wars in our offices have ears, and they had. Yes.
The last interview on CBS, he said he has never received money. In Uganda, he said, nange nchazirinda, sinazifuna.
Oba zirinda, oba tazirinda. Because when you participate in an act of stealing, and you have not shared, have you participated or you haven't? Imagine you have all gone. You have all gone and participated in house breaking, and you have gotten all the materials, and you have not shared. Now, can the mass court say that you have not participated because you have not partaken the dividends of your action? That one, it is up to the masses to decide. But for us, what we know and what he told us is that he participated. Okay. Yes. So, whether he has eaten the money or hasn't, that is upon himself, and it is his word against God's.
So eyali bigambo byo meeting nibyo byagambye
byebyo bye yayogera mu meeting. Katoba yabyogera bwatyo katufe twandikoze iki twamusaba oba bwe byabera kati yimirira kubari turyoke tumanye ebyabera oburungi ne tumugamba kati tudemu oba if that had been the case, I imagine he should have responded immediately, maybe after the meeting in writing, to say, you people, even when we were in the meeting, I was probably not prepared for what was coming in the meeting. Therefore, now that I have time to think it over, I want to inform you that I didn't take the money. He should have done that. Any person would do that. Bwe baba bakuwayiriza ng'otuuka wali n'ogamba naye banange nga oluli nsobeza because I was under duress. Naye teyakikola. Instead yagenda mu mawulire n'ayogera ebirala. Kati ekyo kyetunyiza kyetutangaaza. Is that what they say? Then we don't understand. Now we really don't understand who the Right Honorable Mpuuga is. Yes.
Do you think that could be the reason why Zake was chased?
You never know. There is no smoke without fire. Because here was our commissioner, Zake, Honorable Zake, on the commission. Those people had hardly worked 6 months. Now he gets a problem, whatever problem it was, whether it was indiscipline or whatever they want to call it. For us, we know we had sent somebody there. When they start chasing him around, and you are the leader of opposition, you are not making enough noise. Let me call it noise. You are not making any credible intervention to make sure that your colleague with whom you have come to police government, I'm going to call it policing, with whom you have come to police government actions, you are not doing much. You just sit back, relax, and then as soon as he leaves, you sit in a meeting With the remaining 3 NRM commissioners, then you give you allot yourselves money, all that money. Well, for us, really, what I must mention is we are not really sickened by the amount of money, because 500 million, of course, could build schools, could equip some hospitals, could do much for the people of Uganda. But for somebody of Honorable Mpuuga's level, class, to fall for that, someone was dividing up and calling that one a monthly stipend for some very highly placed people, and then he falls in the trap. Ekiina kya mulyango kikamulema itambuuka. He could not jump over the trap that was put by his door, is what is scaring us as a party. But we stand firmly on our values, and we are going to fight corruption to its core, even if there are very few people who will remain standing. I know people have complained. I've been seeing it everywhere. Colleagues of his, some few people in his constituency, and then, of course, some beneficiaries. I can call them beneficiaries, maybe of the cake which he got, or which he intended to get, whatever the case. I've seen them. But as a party, for us, no matter what, we are standing on our principle of no corruption in Uganda. Because if NRM is killing Ugandans because of corruption, why should we now ride on the same bandwagon of promoting corruption?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Why is it that it is only Noop which is making noise around it? Yeah?
Apparently, it's not Noop that is making around. NRM is the one that is making noise that we have sacked their person. Someone we thought was ours. Somebody whom we held with very high regard. We thought that he was like us. But usually there are such people. In politics, you never know what is coming. Yes, but abenarayemu atebasirise
didn't eat money alone. According to the document, there are other commissioners like Serwanyi.
Atebo NRM bo okurya nguzi kati tebashashwara. They are no longer, it's part of their life. They are premised on corruption. They were born on it. Bakajonko mu mabere, like the Banyankore would say. They suckled corruption from their, I don't want to insult the mothers, but Bakajonka, they fed on corruption, and that's what brought them into being. I want to believe that Ugandans know that, corrupting somebody's mind to make them believe what you believe is enough corruption. You don't have to have taken the money. Somebody yesterday was talking about the money. You remember when they took over power, in the name of, was it privatization? I don't know what it is. They took our money. If you had 1 million shillings, they'd give you 7,000 or something like that. Those who had the money know best. Where did they put what they cut off? Beginning from there, wasn't that enough corruption? Now selling all these government parastatals, Uganda Commercial Bank, if you look at all the lands that belong to, that we used to call public land or government buildings, even government farms, I was a beneficiary of those people who were studying veterinary those days. There was a government farm in Chisosi, which belonged, I think, to Makerere University, where veterinary students would go and study from. There was stock farm. There was another one in Chisozi, there was Ruhengeri here, there was Nshara, there was Sanga, all these other government, you know what used to be government. You saw one in Iganga, the one Njeru, you know those things there. They were there, but now can you touch them? Where did they go? All that is corruption. Now, do you think a government that has been building blocks on that level of corruption can stand up to talk about 400 million being taken by Serwanyi? Of course not.
Okay.
You saw them about Saga, we talked about it the other day, the iron sheets of Karamoja. You saw David Deba. I remember a long time ago when Dr. Kazibwe, Specioza Wandera, was vice president and she was in charge of agriculture, I don't know, when she was given money for building dams. And she used to say, oh, there is a dam in Nyakahita. All of you who pass through Nyakahita, is there a dam? But was she crucified? No. So for them, NRM, in fact, they feel bad when you talk about corruption. That's why they are coming up. That's why they are coming up to condemn us. They are actually killing us, killing our president for talking about their best habit. You know, kogamba kainami omuhoro gutongana. That is the Kinyankore proverb. When you talk about something that literally, when you talk about a problem, then all those people who are engaged in that kind of thing complain. That's why NRM is now on our neck for sucking, not really sucking, for complaining about one of their own.
Okay. Now, the students of political science say, if you go deep in fighting corruption, you end up losing your government. And
which government?
Yeah,
of NRM?
And some people think that's why government has stayed in power for a long period of time. Nti bolwanyisa enguzi government esobola n'okugwa. Kati bamubaga nti nuupu wano okuvayo ne mugamba Mpuuga kino ekigenda kubasuula era kino kirekawo ekibiina.
Kati bo babadde baagala tukole ki? Naffe tubeere mu kizina ky'enkima, oluyimba rw'enkima. Naffe tubeere mu luyimba rw'enkima. Mu mazina g'enkima. Batubye ebyo ne bigwawo, omulala n'abba wali, batubye. Kati abantu ba Uganda abatuyinamu essuubi. Those Ugandans who have entrusted their faith in us to offer a better governance alternative. Kati tubagambe tuti. Tutunaffe amazina bwe bakubye ngalabe naffe ne tuzinazinamu nedda baba. For us, we stand for the truth and we shall continue to do so. God willing. And no matter how many fall by the wayside, if you remember the parable of the sower in the Bible, since Uganda is a Christian country, you know, someone planted, some fell by the wayside, others fell in the fertile soil. So I believe that among the seeds, we shall get those seeds that will fall in the fertile soil and then germinate and grow into huge trees.
Mpuuga singa gaana okulikulira. Muzaako kinga ekibiina.
Ate omanyi parliament eno yeekolera amateeka eya Uganda. Yoka yeekolera amateeka aganaagibyesaawo, aganagishashura empiiha mane ne yeekolera. Kati eteeka fe kati nga pati twamuwaayo. Okay? Kati tubagambye omuntu waffe bwe twabawa ayina empisa embi. The empisa which we don't agree with as a party. Naye bo bayina etteeka kwegamba bw'oba omutaddeyo nga bw'oraba bona abakulembeza abalonde. N'obwabeera kansala wakuno ku kyalo wano. Bwe muba nga mumaze mwamulonze. The law does not provide an easy access for withdrawal of that particular individual. Now, the law does not protect him. It's now Parliament to decide. Nga bwe waraba bwe bakola zaake. Ffe twabagamba gwe twagala, gwe tutaddeyo, gwe tumanyi gwayinza kukola emirimu gyaffe on our behalf. Your speaker, we, is it yo or we? We speaker ye n'agamba nze nedda ebyange tajja kubikola katafurume. kati tebamufulumye wadde omushango gwakyali mu court and so on. So he's protected by the law that they made for on self basis, on self-interest basis, right? So we may not be able to pull him out, but for us, we have pulled him out on our behalf, from working on our behalf. Yes. I want to encourage fellow Ugandans that the struggle is on. The struggle for regaining Uganda, the struggle for providing good governance to this country. No matter who you are, colleagues, if you are holding a position of leadership in our party, please let's show the difference. Let's not be blinded by a few crumbs, because those are crumbs that are falling off other people's huge plates of food. But even when you are given a huge plate, please don't take it, because you are not going to eat on behalf of the rest of Uganda. Please, let's be the difference that the people of Uganda are yearning for. Yes.